Welcome.
Hey guys.
To the first episode of Just Being Honest. I'm Claudia.
I'm Diego.
And I'm Jadio.
And, well, let's just get into the first topic, I guess.
Yeah.
We can just start talking about first impressions.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah, let's do
You guys
this.
think
Yeah.
so?
I'm excited.
I mean, I'm nervous, but I'm excited
nervous
still. So, to lead into the conversation, I think the first thing that you want to start talking about when you talk about first impressions is what you first notice, whether that be physically or in their conversation. So, I'm asking you guys.
I think you can start this time.
Alright, so like, give me an example. Like a girl's walking in to, like, I'm in class and I see a girl walk in.
Let's use, sure, we can use school and then use other scenarios, but I think school is the most common thing, so yeah. No, not even, let's do, a girl is sitting behind you, girl or boy, doesn't matter. Well, does that matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so girl or boy taps you on the shoulder and asks you for a pencil. What's the first thing you're
Alright,
gonna
well,
notice?
if they're that close to me, I guess the first thing that, like, the first sense I kind of go to is probably smell because I'm already breathing. So, like, if I smell stench, why are you making that face?
If they
Because
stink.
they tap on my shoulder, like I'm breathing, so I smell. I can smell.
You smell like shit.
Well, I'm a normal person. I
That-
see to their eyes. I see their eyes.
So you
honestly.
like somebody taps your shoulder, just like
No,
you just stare at them with
no.
wide
You
eyes.
just like if they tap my shoulder and I look back, I'm gonna look
Diego's
directly
like,
in their
you
eyes.
look straight into their soul.
I mean, no, but I just look in their. What do you mean? I'm just like.
I don't look for people's eyes when I first see them.
I think it's their eyes when they're that close. When they're afar, I think their body.
Do you judge them for anything?
I think everybody.
I think
I
everybody
am
judges
not
at
a
some
judge.
point.
Really? You think you're, like, when you
Well,
first see someone, you're
subconsciously.
automatically judging
And I'm not talking about like brands or anything, but I'm just like, oh, like what they're wearing is not pretty or like. Yeah.
That's basic
That's-
judging.
Okay,
Why
but
are you
it's,
so judgmental?
what do you mean? What, if I don't like what they're
That's
wearing?
not even it. I think that's like the ego mind. Like it already likes and dislikes. Like, your
Yeah.
mind already likes and dislikes everything already.
Do you put yourself on a pedestal when you first meet somebody?
What do you mean?
Like, what I do is, I don't want to say I compare. I don't judge. I compare. That's like my negative side when I first meet somebody.
Pedestal sounds like comparing.
That is. No. I'm saying I think it's better. I think what I do is better than what you guys do. I don't judge someone when I first meet them. I compare them to me when I first meet them.
You compare them to you? I don't do that.
Like, I'm saying,
I compare
are
them
they
to-
wearing this better than me? Are they having this better than me? Could they do this better than me? Do they have a way of mannerisms, and are they less rude, more people friendly than me? I'm more comparing, but
Is
I'm
that-
not judging them. I'm not going to say they're less than me or that they're better than me. I'm just going to say this compared to me.
Do you? Well, I do sometimes. Like when I meet someone and they do something I like personality wise, or like I see that they're really nice to someone, I'm like, oh, I want to be like that. I want to improve that on myself. That's something I
Oh.
do. Yeah. Like if I see someone that I don't know and they're doing something that like I think it's good, I'm like, I try to not copy it, but like implement it on myself because I think it would improve my personality or improve like
yourself.
yeah, just myself.
Overall.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a big thing I do. I think I just take pieces of people that I like better than me.
Yeah, it's not copying. It's not like a personality
No.
thing. It's just improving yourself for like
Yeah.
a higher standard. I do
Because
that.
you when you see this person, you're like, I hope I give off that first impression.
Yeah.
the same
I
as
try
they
to do
do.
that exactly.
And I
So then
think,
that's something you see in the first impression, that glow, that energy that they bring into the room. Right?
Yeah.
I think energy does play a good thing. Like if someone
For
has a
sure.
negative, like,
You can
this
tell.
sounds cliche, but like
You can tell.
vibe or
You
like
can tell.
energy, it's gonna.
They walk into the room and then that whole energy is off in the whole room.
The
like
room,
everything.
exactly. The
can
room
tell.
can change. The dynamic or the way you even interact with other people can absolutely change.
Yeah.
Like my mood can change if someone is bringing the energy or vibe down.
For myself, I
Yeah.
always want to be like the person that like brings light into the room, and like I know it's hard like not to be that person sometimes, and I know I'm not sometimes, but like I really try to be.
Okay. I don't think
But-
you don't bring glow or energy, but I don't think you add to the room. Well, like no, wait.
Like
that's-
at all, like oh, he came in right. Like,
Yeah,
no, but
nothing
I
changed.
think it's more like you bring a sense of home to the room. Like I think you're a friendly face. Like I think you just have that face where like you're like, if I'm panicky or if I'm too much right now, I can come to you and feel
Okay.
better. I like that.
I feel like
I
there's
think you
been
bring a sense of home.
there's definitely been scenarios like remember that one time we went to Halloween Horror Nights. One of our friends was in the car with us, and we were
Eric?
all pretty much in the we don't say names.
Oh, yeah.
But everybody we all had like our own mood. Like we were all excited to go, and then like she was like all gloomy always, and you know what I'm talking about, right? Like they're always all gloomy and everything, and then it's just like not even like even those little
the
like
girl, the guy.
the girl, even all those little occurrences that like adds on to the energy in the room, and then it's just like, man, why is she acting like that?
Yeah,
like we're just trying to have fun, go ride some rides, going. It was Halloween Horror Nights. Yeah. So, I mean, it was going to be scary anyway. She was just adding on to that fear, I guess.
Was it the first time we met her?
Me? First time I met her. Yeah.
So that really was like a first.
And she was quiet. This is perfect, actually. She was really quiet. Didn't really talk. Kind of just said hi.
I kind of thought that she was judging us.
And she...
no, when someone's quiet, I always assume they're just judgmental people.
Or observing.
Well, you're judging.
I guess.
Observing, but like usually if you're
you can
really
observe
quiet,
and not judge.
Yeah, well,
but it's hard
I do that.
But you can also judge in a good light. Like, what if they're viewing the good things about
Yeah,
you?
I guess so. Yeah, because you're still judging. Yeah, technically. Yeah.
No, you're.
Well, then I found out like after we met her that she was like, oh, like I really like you, whatever, like you're my favorite out of the
group. But not through
so,
her or through her.
No, she told me. Yeah.
So like, it's so even weird though, to tell from like quiet people.
No, exactly. Like even though she told me that the first time I met her, I was like damn, she's a little bit rude. Like she didn't talk the whole time. She just.
And you know what it is also, like when you, like for example, before you meet somebody, it's also what the person's like. Say I'm meeting one of your friends, and then when you're talking to me, you're just like, oh yeah, she's really rude, blah 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 blah. That also affects like your first impression on somebody, because you're already getting judgment from another person, and that's already in the back of your mind. Like you're expecting somebody to be rude, and you're expecting somebody to be...
honestly, like that's kind of like a flex of my sense that I don't go off what people say. I'm not like a hearsay person.
You shouldn't have expectations.
I do, yeah. Like when I meet you, I come completely with a blank slate of mind. You are a new piece of paper. You can paint yourself however you want to be painted. I do that with a lot of people too. That's what I hope people do with me. So I do that with other people because I know I can have my bad things, but when I come to you, I hope that I bring some sort of light or some sort of energy that I would expect. Because golden rule, treat people the way you want to be treated, of course.
Yes.
And that's what I always do. And you need to have a blank state of mind, or you're not going to be able to like have a good first impression of people. You're just setting yourself up for failure.
Imagine like Dale's like say you were meeting me for the first time and Dale's like, oh my god, he's so great, so funny, oh my god, greatest guy you ever met. And then I come and I'm just an asshole.
Oh my god, I hate when people say I'm funny.
And I'm not funny at all. Like I don't joke around.
My
just like
biggest pet peeve is when people say like and anytime anyone introduces me to someone, they always say I'm funny, and it sets me up for failure because literally the first thing that people say is like, say a joke. What the hell am I supposed to say to you? I do not know you like that. Like my funny or my comedy, I want to say, is insult. Like I have an insult comedy. I like to poke fun at people obviously in a lighthearted way. And so when my friend took me, I hope she's listening. My friend took me to this place. I didn't know anybody. It was completely like, okay, it was like just not my scene. There were, I don't want to say I'm a negative person, but I'm not an overly positive person. I don't consider myself pessimistic.
Realistic.
I always say that. I don't consider myself pessimistic. I don't consider myself optimistic. I consider myself realistic. And these people were optimistic to the face. They were golden people. They all look like golden retrievers somehow. Like they were all like, hi. Not my scene at all. I was so upset. And so I come in and she's like, we're with two people. And she's like, this is my tall friend, and this is my funny friend. I'm the funny friend because we're both tall. But she's like, oh, let me introduce you. This is Claudia. She's my funny friend, and this is other girl. She's my tall friend. And then the first people ask was they're like, oh, you're funny, so say a joke. Like they almost wanted me to go on stage because there was like an area with a stage where people could speak, and they wanted me to like do comedy.
Stand up.
Like basically stand up, and I was so disgusted. I was like, I don't know any of you people. You people are weirding me out. And they were just like, they literally stared at me, and that's setting me up for failure. And I got so mad at my friend. I was like, you cannot do that because you're just setting people up. Because I'm a shy person. If I don't like the energy or the people in the room, I'm a shy person. I will automatically be quiet.
Same.
Isn't that crazy how like when your friend first?
So even you think that even if the room is doing good, I'm still gonna be shy.
Even if you're completely comfortable, I think you can have a little shy bone in your body. That's just...
So just imagine if it was not my energy. Imagine how shy I would
be. You would literally leave. You would literally leave the room.
Or be on your phone.
I think you have seen me in those situations where I don't feel it at all and I'm just quiet.
No, you're just on your phone.
Well, on my phone. Well, yeah.
You're on your phone either or.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
for real, for real.
But no, I think like if I completely change my impression, the way I show to myself to people, if I'm in a room where I want to be or if I'm in a room where I don't want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Did that like sound right? Sorry.
I guess, yeah.
I think you're the same either or.
I don't know. I mean, I was thinking like I thought it was crazy how you said like when your friends introduced you, they kind of like labeled you like right
Yes,
away.
I
Like
hate that.
I think that's crazy that people do that. Like they really label people, or they always like how you brought back to like what you said about judging people like in a way that's like, and then they judge you automatically too, like after they label you.
What do you think is your first judgment of character? In the sense of like, do you care about respect, kindness? I don't know, outgoingness.
I feel like respect. I feel like that's just number one for everything.
Really?
I think like you should always just have respect and then go on.
Maybe this isn't
Because
like,
it's just like how you said, like you treat the others how you want to be treated. I would like to be treated with respect, and I will treat you with respect. You know.
For me, I like when people like are like the same with everyone, like when they're honest and like they don't act different like with other people and stuff.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
no.
Like, just being real. Like
Yeah,
they're real.
just being real, just being honest with you.
At first, I thought you were talking about like they're just the same with everybody. And
That
I
was
like,
like,
what?
that's a hard thing to say
Yeah.
because I change myself
get bored,
forever.
yeah.
You do?
Not even get bored. What?
What do you
You would get
mean?
bored?
No, I mean the way he explained it, like
No, I
Like,
mean
if
like
someone
if
is-
when I'm with my different friend groups because I'm just so popular. No, when I'm with my different friend groups, I'm a different person. Obviously, when I'm with my family, I'm a different person. When I'm with you guys, I'm a
I
different
mean, we
person.
do adapt.
But if you're saying that you have to be the same through each person, then I don't think you'll find someone like that. Or if you do, it's very
And maybe
very
I
fine.
worded wrong. I think it's just being honest.
that's why I got confused.
Honesty. So the
Honesty,
first thing that
yeah.
you
Yeah,
care for
just being
someone is
honest.
if they're just honest. Well, hello. I think my first thing is outgoingness. I really care if someone like I've said to you before. I care how you interact with other people.
Oh, yeah, you
I
told
think
me.
I think it is absolutely fascinating.
That's so interesting to
because
me.
yeah. So when I first see you, I want to see you. I automatically want to take you. I'm like let's go out. Let's go to a party. Let's go to a restaurant. I want to see how you interact with people and how you care for others.
Yeah.
Because care is just a big thing
I
for
like
me in
that.
general. So it's just like if I can notice you care for others and if I can notice you have a sense of kindness is just like just treat people well and I'll respect you out of that and I'll have a good impression of you.
Before we keep going, I wanted to mention something about how you said that how you act differently in different friend groups and around your family and everything. I read this thing online where it was like people have like 3 different masks. Like one they show just like everybody, like say if you work at Publix or what we show like at employees and everything, and then the mask that you show your friends and families, and then you have the mask that you show
Come
like
to
nobody.
yourself.
Yeah, but only you see that. Only you know that side of yourself. So like, which one do you think you show the most?
I think I have a more like if your mask is your worker mask, my mask is like my video like what's it called? I want to say
Presenting,
acting
yeah.
because I do a lot of like
Yeah.
I'm a very outgoing person. I consider myself at least, and so I constantly have a stage presence to me. I
yeah.
like to say that my world is a stage, like the world is a stage, and I am a presenter.
My
and
life
so,
is a movie.
my life is just a movie. It's honestly my world. You're just living in it.
Yeah.
But I have a general way of holding myself and talking, which is just it sounds like I'm speaking to an audience, or it sounds
Yeah.
like I'm giving some sort of speech that nobody is listening. But honestly, if I was like completely honest with you, I don't like the person I come home to when it's just me. Because I don't think I'm out, like if you asked me and if you asked outgoing me, I would say I'm an unlikable person.
Interesting.
Really?
Why?
That's very interesting because you just said that you were outgoing, and then now you're saying that when you.
No, I'm
person that
saying
gets
the
home-
outgoing me is unlikable.
How?
So, You think you're?
I
You
think
think you're
I
obnoxious?
think the outgoing you is inspiring. And I have,
Inspiring.
yeah,
Really?
yeah. I mean, I have seen you that way since we met. like, you know, when you like do or your like YouTube videos, or like when you're directing, when you're writing, I think that's inspiring. Like, I don't know why you see it as annoying.
I don't see it as annoying. I see it as more as like bothersome.
Or like when you act, it did, and I remember in class. No, it
I
did.
bothered you?
No, not me, but people, when you were like a leader and you would like boss people around, not in a bad way, but it would bother some people that like you were a leader in the class. But overall, it was inspiring, at least for me, and I think for other people too.
Yeah, you think they were just jealous, maybe.
Maybe,
probably
yeah.
it bothered them that she was doing so good.
Yeah, because you were. Well, I think that's my perspective. I don't know.
But I like don't see that in myself. I don't see myself as inspiring. I just see myself as I am very good at taking the pieces of people I like better than me and putting them into myself. When I get a first impression of somebody, I implement that into myself to make sure I have that first impression, or just that impression. It doesn't have to be my first, it can be my second or third or fourth or fifth. And I just like to be a showman. I consider myself a showman. I consider myself a presenter. But the person I come home to, I can't do that because I would look like a psychopath staring in a mirror. So the person I come home to, I'm like, I wish I had that same energy of that I am still playing a show. But when I come home, the curtains come down and it's just me.
Maybe you're just recharging.
With me, I think it's the opposite. I just can't play a show.
Yeah, I know, and
I
think that's so cool. Like,
for me, it's not, because like
why?
Well, I remember the first time you were like, we were directing that we did the short film, and you were like, oh, you need to be like more going, like more bossy and whatever, and I'm like, I just like, that's just not me. I'm sorry.
I know. I wasn't telling you to be bossy. I
No,
was just telling you to make your voice heard, because I think out of all the things, I think you're a complete pushover. Like you're easily pushed over in the sense, like, not just like so that people can get what they want, but in the sense of also like
he keeps his words to himself.
Yeah, you keep to yourself a lot because you want to be real and honest, and I think that's good. You don't have to see it as a bad thing. You don't have to be a showman like me or like anybody else. You can just be honest and and real. Like everything, I think you're just real as fuck.
Thank you.
Period. Do you like the person that you come home to?
I think so.
Really?
I mean, I think this last month I have been like alone in my house like for a long time. Like sometimes I go home, there's no one, and like I'm like, in the beginning it was hard. Like I was like, I don't like being alone. Like I don't like being alone. I want to hang out with someone. But I slowly got used to it, and I was like, I'm fine.
I don't think you have a social battery. I feel like you don't.
I don't. It's just...
That's crazy. I have...
What do you mean?
Like, my social battery, like, because I'm such a showman and such an outgoing person, I get tired so easily. I love coming home and just, like...
That's what I'm saying. You're recharging.
Dead.
I feel like how you said you don't like coming home to that.
But I wish I was just like Diego. I wish I could just keep going and never stop and constantly want to be
there's a
people.
difference, though. Because you're actually being the showman and you're on stage using your energy, and then he's constant.
Yeah, I'm just constant.
So there's no
like,
there's no energy. There's no extra energy being expressed. It's a constant like loop.
Do you think you're a showman or more quiet?
I think you're both.
I think I fluctuate.
Yeah,
I think you're both.
You're
like
the
balance
best of both
between us.
worlds.
Yeah.
That's what everyone says. Like, you're just the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I mean, like when you're saying like, do you like the person you came home to or you come home to? I feel like I never really ever really thought about that.
Why?
Like
I think about that all the time.
Cause like I guess like I never really struggle with, like being alone. Like I think I can be alone, but I think it's just because I'm really not alone. I have my dog, and like I have my dogs. So like sometimes like I would get so bored I would just talk to him, you know. Like bro, like I just look crazy. Yeah, I'm just like bro, like I know you can talk. Like I'm
like yo, now that no one's here. You
but no, I think but for sure like how you said you struggled with that because like all your life you were never alone, bro.
Yeah,
you had your family all your life, but like that made you realize that at the end of the day, when everything is just you,
you're gonna be
and
you.
I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah,
but I'm never
is to know that
not even with us, like you
have.
don't think like with your friends. And
I don't
stuff?
think I'm honest with anybody. Like I don't not honest, but I don't think I
like you're truly self.
Show my true colors. Yeah, because I think I'm when I like is your true like what is true colors? Because to me the true colors is the person I come home to, right? Okay. So the person I come home to, the person that no one sees, which is my true colors, is a quiet person, generally unlikable. I think I'm more muted. I think I'm more to myself because I just don't think that no one would asked or cared. So, but if I was like that, like to forward to people, I think I would seem like judgmental and push-offy. But that's just like my true colors. So I try to be a showman because I want to have the best first impression. I feel like that's with everybody though.
And do you think you can tell if somebody is going through that, like just off of first impressions? Do you think you can tell if somebody is going through anything like that? Because I know you're good at observing.
Yes.
So give me an example of somebody you've
what?
seen, like just like how what she said.
I don't believe like happy people. Like when someone is like, that's what I'm saying with the golden retriever people, or like when someone's overly optimistic. Like everything
Kelly.
is life. Life is.
We're not the same name.
I don't know a Kelly.
But I was thinking exactly about that. I swear. I was like optimistic. Her. Yeah.
But no, I don't like when I like those type of people. Just overly optimistic, happy, golden retriever. Life is great. Rainbows and happiness disgust me. I think it's all a facade. I think it's fake. People who say it's real, I don't believe it because I know that. I tie everything back to myself, and it's a hard thing. It's a bad habit I need to stop doing, but it's sometimes very helpful with something like this. Like, when I'm like that, I know I'm playing a part. I know I'm lying. With my showmanness, it's a lie, it's a fake, it's a facade. And so when I see other people, I'm like, I bet you come home and you absolutely hate the person you look in the mirror. I bet you, when you really sit in the I bet when you take a shower, you probably sit. Like you give me that, you give me I sit in the shower energy because I know at the end of the day with all this energy that you're using and all this battery, you're gonna come home and you're gonna be absolutely dead just like me. So
if I do that, that's when I feel bad.
Really?
Yeah, like if I act a certain way, or like if I act happier, or like if I act like somehow to make someone feel better and I'm not myself, I come home and then I feel better.
Really?
That's how I feel sometimes. So I just prefer to keep it.
Yeah. Why do you feel bad?
I don't know. I just, it's like an energy, and I'm like, it's like an extra energy that I don't want to put into myself. I think it's fake, or like I don't think it's real. Like if I feel like it, I'll do it. But if I'm forcing it, if I'm like forced to do something, or like I feel that I need to do something for someone out of like an intention or whatever, I come home and I'm like, I didn't like that. Like I feel bad about that. Yeah.
Because you think you're being fake.
Yeah.
So do you like that?
I just think I've been doing it for so long. It's just like implemented in my skin. I wouldn't know any other way. I don't feel bad because I think they would like me, that version of me better. Like always show the best version of yourself. Like, so is it wrong to show the best version of yourself?
So are they caring about you or the person you?
No, they're caring about. That's what I'm saying. So like. It's hard for me to believe that people care about me or genuinely like me because they're just seeing the facade I've always shown or the showman I've always shown. So it's just like, would they, if I showed my true colors, would they like that too?
Yeah.
Or,
so can you say that your true colors is in the book you wrote?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's like.
So that's like your little that's like your gateway into bringing your true colors into the world, because I feel like everybody should at least give a little bit out of themselves.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if I never showed my true colors and never showed who I truly was, I think I would be dead.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like some of this is true. Like I feel like this cannot all just be a lie and a facade if you've been doing it for so long. There's no way. Maybe you're lying to yourself and you just want to say that. So to like
cool.
Yeah.
I wish. No,
maybe your subconscious is saying something different.
I think the truth to it is that I like that person. I think the truth to it is that I want to be that person when I come home. When I come home, I want to have the same likability, outgoingness, charisma, talent when I come home to myself. But I don't, because I don't think I am worthy of it, because I haven't felt someone care about the person I come home to.
Interesting. It
just is all a big infinite loop, and it all leads back to itself, and it's very deep rooted, and something's wrong.
I feel like that, like just that charisma and all that, I feel like it's really not needed at home, because there's nobody that you're going to be talking to other
but
than
it
your
is
sister.
Needed because I feel like you don't want to care about a rotting corpse. You want to care about something that has charisma and uniqueness.
I guess so. Okay.
It's just like I want to care about something that's worth caring about, that's likable and outgoing, and that person isn't the truest form of me.
Exactly. But how you said before, like you said that you were doing it because that's who you want to be, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So like that is you, dude, at the end of the day.
But it's not, because I didn't generate that from myself. I generated it from people that I liked better than me. It didn't just come from my brain. It didn't just sprout there. It came from
from stuff
others.
from stuff you observed.
Yeah, I consider myself a lot of things.
And that's just learning. I think you're just learning. I think that's just you learn and then you apply that to like your arsenal, like to your ability, and then that's just you now.
But isn't that fake?
I don't think so. I think is it fake if you learn a math equation, you learn like a teacher teaches you, and then you have another
No,
problem.
but that's that
and
in
you
its most simplistic form. I mean, like Diego's honest and real and is always showing his true colors, but that's
Do we
not...
know that, though?
I try. I try my best.
Okay, we're grilling on me.
No.
I think...
What do
you
you
can be
mean? I'm
fake.
not. How am I? I'm just saying I try my best, but I also have moments where like I also keep things to myself, or like I like think about like
I
what
think
I'm
the
gonna
only thing
say
you
too
keep
much.
to yourself is how you view others.
What do you mean?
or your
Explain
own
that.
or your own opinions of
Yeah,
things you
I
think you
think you're
could do
very
better.
good at keeping your opinions to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. But of all the people, I think you can be fake.
How?
Because I think you...
It's not fake, and it's like a chameleon. Like you just adapt.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a really cool.
but-
That's really cool. A really cool analogy.
Chameleon.
So you think I'm like
You
like in
adapt.
a sense like a wave, and I just vibe with the energy in the room. I think I do that too.
Definitely.
But
Like-
isn't that
like, for
technically
example-
being fake?
When I say fake, because it's not my own frequency, I think everybody just I think everybody just produces their own frequency and like their own wave to add
And
on to
what's
the energy.
your wave if you just keep going on others and others' frequencies? What's yours?
Like I said, I think I fluctuate. Like I think it, like by myself, my wave, my frequency.
Is
I
your
think
dog?
no.
It's what?
It's Alpha. It's his dog.
Honestly,
He just starts barking.
when you say what's my frequency or what's my wave, do you mean like if I'm outgoing or if I'm like?
You sound like we're on drugs. No, but what, like the person you come home to, because you say it yourself. You're a chameleon. You adapt to others. You
I didn't
can
say
be
that.
quiet. You can be loud. No, but it's
But you
what
do.
You do. Like
Okay.
we don't need to. We don't need
Alright,
to
so
lie
okay.
to yourself.
Well, that's our
let me
perspective.
use
Okay.
this. Let me use this example for your perspective.
Mm-hmm.
When I came to that novena at her house,
Mm-hmm.
so like some of the people there, they don't really know me. So like
Yeah.
my first impression on those people was like I saw that they were talking to their friends, like how you said, like how you like to see people how they are in settings. I liked seeing how she was acting in front of all those people, and I liked that they were all like communicating and they were all having fun. They didn't really care who was looking, watching, or if I was there, because like they didn't know me that well either, you know. And I only knew a couple of people there, and I'm not even friends with most of them. Only just a couple of them. So like I was just kind of like in my own wave when I first got there, and I was just like chill, kind of observing, because like I just got there, you know. I came late too, so I'm just over there. I'm just like, I need to eat. I was so hungry, so I went and I go eat. All my food is gone. That could have brought my wave down, but it didn't. I was just still chilling, you know. I'm like, I'm just here, you know. Let me just have fun. Like I'm just like. You get it? You know what I'm trying to say?
But so
and
you
then after that, then I'm going with the wave that they're going. And even then, I think I was still upping the wave. I think I was still upping the beat.
Yeah. I think so too.
You thought so?
Yeah. Definitely.
I think you can add to something, and but I don't think you can take away from anything. Like if you're in a group setting, I don't think you take away like from the energy or vibe. I don't think you're that person. When you
In a
come they're
negative
like,
way?
Oh, Jariel's here.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
in
I
a
don't
negative
think-
stand, in a negative
But
stand.
I don't. I think you can either be either.
Some people.
I think
but-
no.
Yeah.
Some
I
people.
remember.
Yeah.
Some people are like that. No. Some people are definitely like that. That when you come in the room, they're like, "Oh, they're here."
Yeah.
But when,
I think we all know who we're talking about.
what? But
I know.
we're gonna have a conversation. But
Right,
no. When I think Jariel
Yeah.
comes into the room, it's either oh my gosh, Jariel's here. He
Yeah.
added to the room. It's up. It's bright. It's loud.
Or it's
Or
just,
then it can be like nothing has happened.
Exactly. But
Wait.
for somebody who doesn't know me, what do they think?
Oh, so okay. So this is gonna go into our first impressions of each other. When you came into the room, when I first met you,
Actually,
I thought you were weird.
really?
hold on.
Wait,
That's not
when-
even how it happened. It was in the car when we were going to the hiking. That's when I first met you.
I met you outside.
Oh,
of the,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
We met you in the
outside
car.
my,
In
outside
the-
my house,
Okay, so-
right?
okay.
Outside the house. I thought it was in the car. When I first got into the car, that's when I saw
No,
it.
In front of my house.
in front of his house.
Yes, yes.
When you first came into it. Okay. So
Wait,
it was you
wait.
and
Give
our
me a
other
second.
friend.
Did you have had someone told you before like, oh, he's like
No,
this, like this,
I-
and like
no,
this?
no, no.
Nothing
It was a
you
clean
knew?
slate.
You
Clean
and
slate.
the other guy that was with us
Jamie.
were completely
no name.
completely a clean slate. Like had no idea who these people
And
were.
you were in the back seat with
the
us.
only thing. Do you want me to tell him what you told me?
I don't remember.
You said these are my two hot friends. when I got into the car, Diego was like, he's like, oh, my friends are coming. I was like, what? What's their names? You're like Jariel and Jamie, and they're both really hot. That's all I got.
And that's already setting expectations. What if you thought we were just hella ugly? Like that would have
like,
been so bad.
And so no,
So
so you
embarrassing.
you came into the car, And the first thing I could tell was, if you want to, okay, I could tell you my opinion and my opinion when he told me that. My opinion when he told me you guys were hot was Jamie was a genuinely attractive person, but
Continue.
but when you came in the room, I could tell you were attractive and you were pretty, but I don't think that's what you were known for. Like, I think you had more of a personality to you, where I think as in he was more just a face.
Okay.
And I could tell that I would get along with you more.
I'd rather have that than just,
No, I could. When you came into the car, I was like, I could tell when someone meets you, your personality bumps up your looks, because that's with people. Because I think, like, obviously looks has to do with like attractiveness, but I think your personality can make you more attractive, or even hotter.
For sure.
If you have a great personality, you are 100% now more hot. Like, I think when you find someone hot, you can be like. It's like, oh, you have a pretty nose, but now that I've known your personality, your nose looks even prettier. Like, it changes.
100%.
It literally morphs your face.
Yeah.
I'm like, I never noticed how pretty your hair looks when it flashes like that. I never, like, now that I got to know you more.
I mean, you don't say it, but in your mind.
Yeah,
I
obviously.
agree. I agree.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, I didn't notice how long your lashes were till right now because of your just amazing personality. Your personality bumps those things.
It
so
like
I
makes
could
you.
tell
It
when
like
I
makes
met
you want to
more,
go deeper into them.
Yeah. So when I could tell my
into
first
them.
impression of you, I was like, when I meet this guy more, I'm gonna notice that his personality is what makes him is gonna bump his attractiveness up, and why I could tell you were a likable person, but I had two impressions. Now this is if I was going off a clean slate, this was my impression of you. Clean slate, no idea who you were, not based on he told me you were hot. Completely based. I thought two things. Either you were very obnoxious. Like I'm like I can tell this guy isn't likable to people. I liked you. I at first I liked you. Like I thought you were. I was like this guy's cool. Like he's on my wavelength. He seems like energetic, outgoing.
So I matched
fun.
your wave.
Yeah, you matched my wave. But I was like, but I could tell if I introduced this guy to a group of people, I don't think most of them would like him. Like I think out of a group of people, I think you and me were similar in the sense that we were both outgoing, and I think we were both unlikable in that sense.
And why would the group of people that you introduced me wouldn't like me? Like why would
No. It was just like completely like random. I could tell that you were just a person that like you were like me in the sense like I'm like you either love him or hate him. There's no in between.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I could tell you were
I agree with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
like when
Like
I met
people
you.
either love you or they just don't vibe with you.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Second, I thought you were very intimidating.
Intimidating.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I agree.
don't think so.
I think you were
agree.
I think you were intimidating in the sense where I was worried of the way you perceived me. Like I wanted you to like me because I cared about your opinion. Like I could tell. I'm like I wanted to show myself forward when I was with you because I wanted you to like me. Like there are some people where I meet, I'm like I don't care if this person likes me. They can move on, and I would never care about their perspective. They could say they hate me. They could talk shit about me for years, and I wouldn't give a shit. But I was like, I want this guy to like me. I want this guy to spread words about me that are good. Like, I want you to have a good perspective of me because I cared about your perspective. If you had a negative perspective of me, that would genuinely have ruined my mood. But I'm glad. Do you like me?
Yes.
But see, like,
It's like, what if you just like the whole time you're like, well, that was bold because I don't like you. But I could tell, I was like, I cared about what you thought. Like, you weren't just like empty vessel. Like, you were a person that I genuinely cared about your opinion and your perspective on things. I really wanted to know how your brain worked and how you view things. I thought that was so fascinating about you. And that was it. That was my first impression. What did you think when you first met Dario?
So I think for me it was like slowly because
where was it?
The first memory I have of you is I was driving down your road like to go to your house.
Oh yeah.
I was driving down with my dad and he was like, "Oh, that's that kid from work. Like he works really hard. Whatever. Should we give him a ride to work?" And I was like, "No, Dad. What the heck?" I was like, "No. What the heck? I don't know him."
You weirdo.
Yeah. I was like, "I don't know him. I'm not gonna give him a ride." So my first impression, honestly, like when just off of that, when I saw him, and we were like, I don't know, 16, 17 or something, and like you looked him all, and I was like, oh, like he's a hard worker, like he's a family kid, whatever, like someone that I got walked to work too, so like I related to that. I was like, oh, like he works hard, like me, whatever. So I was like, oh, a family kid, he works hard, and we never really talked back then. But then when we started like hanging out because of Howling Horror Nights, you were intimidating. And like I was like, oh, like if I don't say certain things right, he's not gonna like me or whatever.
Yes, I
yeah,
get
right.
Your first impression is like, I want you to like me. I don't know why, but I want you to like me.
Yeah, and I think we met each other. We went to Howling Horror Nights, and then we never hung out again. And then we did the other Howling
That's
Horror
because
Nights.
I left my job, right?
Yeah, you left your job, and then we didn't know anything about you. I remember. And then
You didn't know anything about me. You just didn't hear from me.
Didn't hear for you.
Yeah.
And then after that, everything was like slowly going up until we became like good friends. But yeah, you were definitely intimidating.
I don't know how, bro. At Halloween Horror Nights, I was laughing and having fun. Like
That's
I
you,
was
but
doing
I
I think
know,
you're
you know,
intimidating in the sense where I want you to like me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about you, but I want you to like me.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
everyone likes you.
Yeah.
And also, I can't believe, bro, you made me walk in that heat. Oh my, I was sweating so bad that day. I remember it exactly too, but my back was sweating. It
Yeah.
was really bad.
I remember.
Do you agree with how we view you? How we viewed you?
I can't really agree or disagree. That's just how you guys view me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Not viewed, but you can see our perspective. Like you're like, yeah, I get that. I give that first impression off to people.
I get like some of it, but I don't get the intimidating part. But
Really? You don't think
yeah,
you're
I don't
intimidating
get,
at all?
Yeah. No.
And actually, your sense of humor, like it didn't connect with me for like the
You didn't
first
think anything
5
about
months.
I said
Really?
was
I thought
funny.
you were hilarious.
No.
I thought you were also hilarious.
For me, for like the, and I think you didn't think I was funny either. Like
yeah,
we
still
didn't.
don't.
You're like, no, you're awful.
Well, like I didn't. I was like, no. Like for the first like 5 or 6 months that we all would hang out, I would be like, oh, he's a friend that like we're probably like we're gonna stop talking one day and that's it. Like we're
Which
done.
did happen.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it did, yeah. But like even when we like from now to like that day or like last year, I think I also thought like, oh, like we're probably gonna talk a little and then that's it.
Like when I came back to the job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was like, oh, like we're probably gonna hang out, but like we're not gonna be close. Like yeah, whatever.
Boy, the turns table. So you said I was funny. So I want to know your first
Oh
impression.
yeah, first of all, okay, so we met at the car. But did I get in the car and you were already in the car?
I was
right?
already in the car.
Yeah, you were already in the car. Okay, so the first thing I noticed was your hair.
Really?
Did
Yeah,
you
and
did I
liked
tell
it.
you anything about her, or did someone
Did you
tell you
tell me
anything, or yeah.
You might have, but I just don't remember. Really don't.
Maybe it was
remember.
something like about film or
Maybe
something.
it was something about her sister. What her sister said. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
I'm
so.
just known for
Yeah. You told me. You told me that she's helped you film stuff, and then, so I'm like, okay, well, she likes.
Your
She's similar.
impact.
She's similar to.
Also,
Diego.
the first physical trait you noticed about me was my hair.
Yeah, that was the first physical trait I saw. Yeah, we didn't say anything
You're like,
about
mhm.
physical.
Oh, well, the physical trait I was saying like that. I could tell you got your attractiveness part of your personality.
That's
like
physical?
you're No, like you were physically attractive. You have pretty eyes. You had a pretty face.
I didn't think you were
But I
physically
could-
attracted the first time I met you.
Really?
Oh, well, no, I meant like, what's the first thing you saw physically?
Oh, the first thing I saw physically.
Your hair.
Your
It was
hair.
super short back then.
It was
Yeah.
short.
It was
My hair was
short.
short when I saw
No,
you.
No, it was curly.
No, when I first met you, when I like the
Saw me
memory I have,
walking, yeah.
it was.
But your face, I liked your eyes. Like I could tell you had like you had like outgoing eyes and you had like an outgoing smile. Like you just have like a show face.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing I saw was like I could tell this guy's gonna get more attractive the better I know him.
Mm-hmm.
That was like I'm like your eyes are gonna get prettier and your face is gonna become more morphed to your personality.
Yeah. Well, for
And that
you,
did happen. Literally later in the car, I was like, his smile is shining brighter than when I first met him.
that shiny teeth. What's it called? Yeah. So the first thing I noticed was your hair, for sure, and then I think you were the one that was carrying the conversation mostly in the car.
Yeah.
Like you were like you said, the showman voice, and I noticed that first. I'm like, oh wow, I like this. Like
Did you think I was obnoxious?
no, not at all. Because I feel like usually I'm the one doing that, so I'm like, wow, like now I'm chilling. Like I can just add on to this frequency. I don't need to create my own. You know,
Really?
like if you weren't there, I felt like it would have to been me. It would have had to been me because it was Jamie, I
You
decided,
just
yeah,
say
Victoria, and Diego. So
Yeah.
if you weren't there, I feel like it would have to.
Our other friend wasn't there.
Who?
The one that's dating Jamie now.
No,
Right?
she was
No.
not there.
No, she wasn't there.
No. Yeah. So like I felt like that would have had to been me.
I do that so often. I'm very like I don't pride myself on a lot of things, but if I do, I think I'm a pretty good conversationalist.
So you set that vibe there, and I was just like, okay, this is cool. I like that, and you were funny too. On top of that, and I think I told you that right away. I'm like, you're funny.
Yeah, you
like,
told
and then
me
I
that.
dapped
I was
you.
like- I was like-
yeah, and then I dapped you up. I would tell you that straight up, but obviously I don't think I would tell somebody they're not funny.
No,
don't
I
think would
remember
do that.
I remember something you vividly did, and I think you still do it now. Where I made a joke, and you're like, that's funny.
Yeah.
When you find something funny, you say that's funny. And I was
all the time.
I remember I was the first person. I think I was like one of the first person to call you out. I was like, why didn't you just laugh? And then Diego was laughing, and Diego was like, I didn't realize he did that. I was like, you could just laugh. And it was so funny. And I remember that got the whole squad laughing. I was like, okay.
Yeah, for real.
But you okay?
And then after that, I think my next impression was, I think it kind of goes back to how you said how you compare people. I compared you to my sister. I'm like, wow, she reminds me of my sister a lot, because like, it's not that you were rude, but I think it was you were blunt.
Your sister that you live with?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was that like I could tell that you were real. Like I felt authenticity in the way you spoke and the way you said things. Like you were just like said so many, and then I right away I was like, I know she's gonna say some shit about me, and I was right, because when we were walking in the trail, you were like, you're kind of short, and then it was up to me. It was up to me to either take that lightheartedly or to take offense, and like it was either gonna ruin my mood for the whole day, or I was just gonna let it brush by, and I let it brush by. Like that shit doesn't bother me. So, and I was just like, yeah, no, that I literally I predicted it. I knew, because the way you were, like the way the way your first impression
I think
came
I
up.
get that often. Like people say, like I can come off as rude or standoffish, but I'm just blunt. I think I can be very honest.
Yes. So that was basically my first impression.
Really? So you thought I was funny? You thought I was a good conversationalist?
For sure.
Blunt. Okay. And curly hair. Cool. That's it. What did you think? When did we first meet?
We met at...
Was it the party?
At my friend's party.
Okay.
Which wasn't my friend at the time.
You had a terrible first impression of me.
Yes. I did have a because you were under the influence, and I remember that I thought, oh, this girl is loud.
Yeah.
Like, because there was a table like this, and you were like just walking and like moving everything, and you fell over the table, and the table and the table flipped, and I was just like, damn, this house is small. Like everyone saw you, and I was like, ugh.
You felt embarrassed?
Yeah.
And you didn't even know her.
And I didn't even know her. And I was like, oh, this girl is loud. And I thought you were like my age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though you seemed mature. But that's not now.
Okay, what was your second impression of me?
My second impression.
What was the first thing you noticed?
What was the first thing you noticed?
Physically.
How tall. How tall you were.
I didn't notice that because I was sitting
in the car.
Yeah. And then I don't remember exactly how we started talking after that, but I think it was at school.
Probably.
And it was still how tall you were, but I remember that you were really outgoing. Like you talked to me like we knew each other.
Yes.
And I was like, what the heck? Like this girl is so nice. And like other than that, I don't remember when we started getting close. I don't remember when we started getting close, but I think we slowly started getting close.
What was your epiphany of me where, like, you realized that was my character? Like, what was the, like...
The class.
What was the class?
The class, yeah. Like, everyone would be like, oh, Claudia, the film girl. Oh, Claudia, whatever. And, like I said, like, you seemed like a leader in the class. And I was like, what the heck? Like, I want to be like that. Like, and that's... I told you that, like, you were you were one of the reasons that I was like, oh, I want to get into film because it seems so interesting. Like, she does it, she can do it. I remember, we did the short film, actually, remember? And I didn't even know you guys that well.
Yeah, you did.
And we didn't know each other, and you were, like, so, like, you knew me before, and you were like, oh, you need to be more bossy. Oh, I think this. I think you should fix this and whatever. Like, you were really...
I sound like a bitch.
No, but not in a bad way. I liked that a lot because I had never had someone tell me, like, oh, you need to do this and this and this to, like, improve yourself. So
I think
it
I do
wasn't
that with
good
people.
intentions.
Yeah, it was a good intention, yeah.
I think I do that with people that, like, if I meet you once, I act like we're best friends. Like, I might as well have known you for 4 years. I'm very good at
I think you acted like that, and I liked it.
Like, when I remember when I saw you back at school, I know you had a bad first impression of me, so I wanted to just act like if we've been friends, and that was, like, your third time seeing me.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think it fixed it completely. It did, because I was like, oh, this girl's so nice. Like, whatever. Like, it's not, like, the girl at the party at all.
But that's what I do with, like, Joriel and, like, with you and, like, anybody. Like, that's what I try to do. I always, like, I'm like, we've been best friends for 4 years. We might as well have been besties. So I can call you out or I can do this. Like, I that can be bad, I'll admit there have been moments where I've been like, I realize I'm like, I don't know this person like that, and I need to calm myself because I just want them to have a good impression of me. So, but I like to feel like a sense of home, or like I'm a person you can come to. I also want to be a person that you can have fun with. I just want to be that person.
That can be difficult to balance.
That is a very difficult balance. So that's why I don't get along with everybody. And I'm a person, you either love me or you hate me. I don't think there's any in between. And so, yeah, I just, like, the first impression I want to give to people is that you've known me for a really long time.
And you did.
And I did.
So.
As I should. Now, when I saw you, I first just thought you were shy.
Yeah.
I just thought you were quiet.
At the party?
Yeah. I thought you were just shy. You were quiet. You seemed like a likable person. Like I thought, I'm like whoever meets you is gonna like you because you are just like quiet. You were quiet and you were like a little shy and like a little cute. But I remember like a little like
cute.
Aw.
Yeah.
Like you just looked like a little like puppy. Like I felt like a sense of like I want to help you. With I wanted to help you.
I don't like that.
Shyness. Why?
I don't like that. Like I don't like that people think that they need to help me or like oh he's shy, so like let me help him introduce him to people. Like I don't.
Yeah,
like
I wanted to break you out of your shell. But but my epiphany of you is when we were working together, like on films and stuff. I could tell like I had a first. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I had a first negative.
Yeah.
Like the first thing I thought of you was negative, which is I could tell this guy's a pushover. I could tell you want to be a people pleaser. I could tell you want people to like you, or you don't like to get on people's nerves. And that's when I called you out, I was like, you need to like stand up for yourself. You need to be more bossy. Like you need to do what you got to do if you want to move forward. And so, but when I got to know you, I could tell. I'm like, first of all, that's just how you are. You are a very homey person. I think homey. But the first positive thing was I thought you were very honest. Like you're real and you'll call somebody out when you need to. But I think you know your time and place better than I do. I think better than he does. I think that's one of your most positive things. As I could tell, I was like, this guy knows where he's at when he's at.
Well, yeah,
he knows when he needs to speak up and when he doesn't. Like, he got his shit together.
Like, I don't, but I do. I think I take into consideration what I do a lot.
Yeah,
like,
I think
what I mean? Like, anytime I want to talk or I'm gonna give an opinion, I'm like, let me consider this twice and then say it.
Yes, I could tell you like thought about your actions. I could tell you were just smart. That was honestly like if I would use one word for characteristics, you were smart. Yeah. I was like this guy's smart. Like he knows his shit. Like he knows where he is when he needs to do it. And like you think about things twice. You can be an overthinker, but I think in a positive way. Like I genuinely believe that you overthink, but in the best way possible. Like I don't think you stop yourself a lot, but I do think you are careful when you need to be, and that's smart. Like you were just smart. I was like, this guy's smart.
What was the first physical thing you saw?
First physical thing? I thought you had a strong jaw. Like I was like, I liked your jaw. Like I could tell like you carried yourself well. Like I was like when you carry yourself, you do it with confidence. I was like what you lack in shyness and outgoingness is where you lack there, you compensate for the way you carry yourself and you hold yourself.
I think you're right.
You hold yourself with your shoulders. Like the first thing I noticed was like your shoulders and your jaw. Like it was very strong.
I think
like I'm shy and I don't talk a lot, but look how I'm carrying myself with this confidence.
I think I agree. Like even though I'm shy, I'm like I'm dressed good. I'm still gonna go. Like I look good. Yeah. Like I think you're right. Yeah.
You're like I am the moment. Like I could tell you stood out where you lacked in your shyness. You compensated in strong. I could tell you were strong.
Cool.
What did you see, Dan?
First where we met was at Publix.
Yeah.
And I
don't remember us talking.
I think I saw you first. Yeah, no, I don't think we talked. I think I bagged for you. And
you probably tried to make conversation and I was just like yeah.
The first thing I noticed physically, I think, was something in your face. I can't really remember if it was like your, like how she said like your jaw. When she said jaw, I thought like, did I see the jaw or did I see the glasses or did I see your hair? But I know it was something in your face. And I think I saw that you were shy also. But I felt like you were not. I felt like you really weren't though. Like I felt like you were just doing that just because you didn't like your job. You know, because like that's just like
But I
that's
do-
how
I do
most
like my job.
that's how most people are.
Mhm.
So I'm just like, so that's why I tried to talk to you, and I
Mhm.
think I did make like small talk, and I don't think you really did talk.
Mhm.
You were just like, yeah,
You're like,
no,
I'm not having
yeah.
it.
Like how you said, like, oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
Wait, should
But
I
you were
check-
talking to the customers and everything, and what
I
happened?
wanna check the camera. Look,
It paused?
I think I'm not sure.
Bro.
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure, but just in case. No, it's recording. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It
It's
had a little
recording.
screen beforehand. Okay.
And this is still going.
Yeah, it's going on. Yeah, this is still going.
Okay.
All right,
Okay,
look,
continue. You can go from.
I'm just
when
gonna
you
start
saw
from
him-
Publix.
When you saw from him physically.
So what I saw from you physically,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was like your glasses or like your jaw, like how she said, because that's kind of what came into mind when she said jaw. I thought about your jaw, and I'm like, did I see that first? But I don't know if it was definitely like something in your face, and then how shy you were also at work. But I didn't really think you were shy. I thought it was just that you didn't like your job.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I tried like conversating with you and everything.
I like my job.
Yeah, and then after that, we met through our friend
Mm-hmm.
Mariana.
Mm-hmm.
And she's kind of the one that like kind of was our gateway.
Yeah.
That's the only time we really hung out and
Yeah.
everything. And I knew that I don't know if I had like it's weird because when somebody is a mediator, it's kind of like
That's
hard to
real.
get a good
Oh, I
impression
was gonna
of
say, that's
somebody.
so hard to meet to
Yeah,
somebody.
because like you can tell like
Absolutely.
I have to observe almost like I can't get the raw input like for myself.
Absolutely,
Do you know
yeah.
what I'm trying to say? Like I see you interacting with her, but you're not interacting with me, so I can't really like get that feeling of like, oh, okay, so this is who you really are. But I could tell like right away, like, okay, well these guys have a really good relationship, and
Yeah.
I'm really good friends with Mariana, so like, okay, like
I
Maybe
should
we
be able to
could-
have a good
yeah.
yeah, like I guess I could be friends.
But we
And
didn't. For a while.
and I think I like she was like, oh yeah, no, he's gay, and I'm just like, oh yeah, no, I mean like,
And I was just like,
yeah, and I kind of like,
no, I literally was like, I didn't say anything or like whatever, but I remember that exact moment. I was just like, bro. Like,
yeah,
are you
and then
kidding?
I'm-
Were you annoyed?
I wasn't annoyed and I didn't say any comment, but I was just like, was that necessary? Like, is this
Why does that bother you?
because? Do you say, oh, this person's straight? Like, do you?
Not really, no.
Nope.
Because like that's just like, well, that doesn't make them any unique. Because I don't. It sounds gross, but like straight is like the normal.
Yeah.
I
like,
guess so. Society. Yeah.
Society. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Not my opinion. Society says straight is the normal. So like when I have curly hair, it's not the normal. I feel like most people have like straight hair.
But I like curly hair.
But that's what I'm saying. It's something that makes them different,
Mm-hmm.
and being different sexuality makes you different. So that's just something to point out in somebody.
Sure.
And
Like-
I think I noticed like at first.
It's like pointing
when I
out
saw
someone's
you.
So
ethnicity.
what was your reaction when she did that?
I didn't have a reaction. I don't think. I was just like, oh, that's cool. I was just like, okay. Like, yeah, that's cool. Like,
Not for me, for sure.
yeah, I was just like, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, like you're still like, I did. If you're asking like, did that change my first impression on you? No, it didn't.
No, I'm
I think,
not asking that.
I think
Are
it
you
didn't
asking
really
if I'm
change
homophobic?
anything.
Like, so
Yeah, I don't
you're
think
homophobic.
it changed anything.
Yeah.
In that sense. Yeah.
But what did you think? Like, what time did you have an epiphany where you could really tell his true test of character?
Right. I want to know that.
I
I'm so
think
smart.
it was maybe Halloween Horror Nights. No, it couldn't.
No.
I think it was really, really late. Like around when we started to hang out with Victoria. I think around.
I think so, too.
I think
I
around that
agree.
time is when we really started to become
I
friends.
think the
and we
week
started-
after Margaritaville.
You think it was Margaritaville? You don't think it was before Margaritaville? Or during Margaritaville?
During Margaritaville, and then I remember after Margaritaville, like that Monday, you were like, "Oh, like I'm going to BurgerFi, to get something for my sister. You want to come?"
Oh yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
remember.
I remember.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
And you said yes.
Yes.
Yes, I remember.
And I think that's when we actually started
hanging out.
interacting. Yeah.
so- because Mariana was not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
yeah.
that's when I started getting a sense of judgment.
Okay.
So I was your first sense of judgment to me.
I was like, okay, this guy's cool. He's not weird. Like,
I mean, even though
I can hang out. I can hang out with this guy.
Even though you call me weird every 5 minutes.
Yeah, I do, yeah. I always call you out when you're being weird. Yeah, but like genuinely weird, like a genuinely weird person.
No.
Like, no, you're not genuinely weird.
I know.
So I guess my epiphany or whatever, like how you were saying, was just like, okay, this guy's chilled out. Like he can be shy around people he doesn't know, but like he.
Like at the end of the day.
Yeah, then like, he's like
chill.
a chill, down to earth person. You know, cool, smart, like how you said.
Did you have an epiphany when you first hung out when you first hung out that first time?
Yeah.
What was it?
What was it? I just thought you were like really funny and real.
Why did you feel that the first thing to tell me about them two was that they were attractive?
I don't know.
Because
they were already there. I remember.
If someone asked me to explain you or you, I would not have go off looks first thing. That is not the first thing I would say.
I think I was just saying it to try to be funny.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I thought you were being serious.
Did you laugh?
Yeah, I thought it was funny. But when you guys came in, I was like, oh, this is kind of true.
Mm-hmm.
You were like, wait, where's the joke?
I was like, crickets. What's the how would you describe me to someone who had never met me and Jariel?
To you?
Yeah.
Well, I think. No.
Well, clearly the first thing you used to describe about Jariel was
no. Like I think I have told Jariel about you, but no, not really. Right?
No, but let's just say like a random person.
I would tell you like, oh, like she's a really funny girl because you are funny.
Why is funny the first thing? I would not use funny to first describe myself.
Yeah, I would say like, be ready, bro. She's real.
Yeah.
She doesn't care like what you say.
Really? That
No,
I wouldn't
makes me
say she
sound
doesn't
so
care.
rude.
No, she doesn't.
I would say
doesn't
it
care.
in a little.
No, I wouldn't say she doesn't care but I would say that you're real and that.
Yeah.
I would say that you're outgoing and that you're funny. That's how I would describe you.
Outgoing for sure. Yeah.
So that's what you would say to someone, is that I was rude?
No, I didn't say you were rude.
That's basically saying I was rude. Oh, she doesn't care what the hell you have to say.
No.
That's literally what you just said.
No. I mean, like, not that you don't. I guess I did say that. Okay, I guess I did say that.
You make me sound like a bitch.
Well, they won't know that you're a bitch. Like, they would just.
So you would tell someone that I'm outgoing and funny. I don't know why people see funny. I really don't think I'm that funny.
I think you are. You make me laugh. I don't know. But you're not trying to be funny. You're just a funny person. I don't.
Would you say I'm funny?
Yeah, you make me laugh.
Well, what's the first thing you would say? How would you describe me to someone?
You're
let's do that with
real.
everyone.
Like she's real. Like
real. Okay. I think to you, I would say you're
Like
shy,
one word.
but when you get to know him, he's a really great guy.
Yeah.
I would describe him as great. Cool. You're just a great person. Like I think you're a very
I would
person.
say Diego is so cool and so smart.
He is the fucking best. I would just say like.
Were you actually, or is that because I have told you to say that?
Oh, that's what you told him to say that? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, yeah, like my friend, he's so intelligent, like he's so cool, like whatever.
He's a filmmaker.
He's a producer. But I would just say like, oh, he's shy at first, but when you get him, he's really nice and he's really cool. Like that's what I would use.
What about me?
I would say I was like, he's intimidating, but when you get to know him, he's honest. He's pretty funny, and I don't know. I would honestly say like I was like I don't know why I would say this, but I would describe you as like zen or like very.
What does that mean?
Like into chakras and like vibes and like be like yo the energy in the room.
Well, this is like new though, I think, ish.
I would say that's what makes you intimidating.
But
is you like to be so intimidating.
The new chakra. The new chakra thing is new, but you always have been a person to learn more.
I would
like
say
grow.
skeptical. I think you're a skeptical person. Like I think you always question everything.
But what would you say though? Skeptic or Zen?
I remember describing you to someone. Like I literally described you to somebody, and I said you were skeptical.
Well, I think you're skeptical.
That was just the first thing that came to my
I think
mind.
you are skeptical, but at the same time, you try to learn, and like you try to improve yourself every day.
Yeah.
I think that's how.
Because I was telling Eli that he said something that reminded me of you, and I was saying like you guys are pretty similar in a sense of that I think you question a lot of the universe and like you are curious. I genuinely said that. Like he had never met you. Like that was after we met you. He met you, and I said that I was like yeah. Jariel's just a curious person. So I guess that's the first thing I would say. Like that was a real like actual test of what I would say, and it was that you were curious, skeptical, and you're cool.
Gotcha.
You're just a cool person.
So if you had to give advice on like what is the best way to give off a good impression, what would it be? Like, so you're walking into the room and it's like a party, like
a party, fiesta. Okay, I think I would say if you're shy, it depends on the person. If you're already outgoing, you're like listening.
Yeah.
If you're shy, I mean, it's easier said than done to just break out of your shyness. Simply break out of your shyness.
It's easier said than done.
Definitely. A lot easier said than done. So a real answer would be
try your best.
Hold yourself well. That's honestly the best way to give a good impression is to hold yourself well. Don't be rude, obviously. Like, have good mannerisms. Have basic human decency with simple things like thank you, please. Obviously, everyone went to first grade at one point.
Try to be social.
Try to be social. Honestly, if you connect with one person, that's all you need. Find someone in the room that you can have an amazing connection with, and then build off of that. If you're a shy person, if you're already outgoing, then you have already like knocked out 50 of the steps. But if you're like me and already outgoing and you want to make a good impression, hold yourself well. It's about like if you have a general dark demeanor to you, hold yourself well. Have a good voice presence. Like go do your little outgoing voice. Use your hands. It's about mannerisms and it's about the way you present yourself. I think that plays a big part in first impression.
For sure.
It's not just what you say or what you believe. Because you can talk a certain way, but if you hold yourself a different way, you're gonna look a little like if you talk like very aggressive, but you are like very soft in the way you
that just doesn't fit right.
Touch things, then you look a little busted.
Yeah.
So
like at the end of the day, it's like being yourself, but also trying to step out of a little bit of
your comfort zone.
Exactly.
I think, yeah. If you want to have a good first impression of showing yourself that you're adventurous.
Yeah.
Comfort zone.
For sure, you need to, like, don't hold in your opinions also. I feel like you should speak out. Even if you're, because that's the main thing is like people usually think like, oh man, like what are they gonna think? Like what are they gonna like? That's I feel like that's why some people are shy and that doesn't give off a good impression, you know.
Like, just be honest.
And for sure, how you carry yourself,
yeah,
is a big one.
If you're not honest, you're wasting your time.
And I feel like the tone and voice that you speak in, you know,
that is such
for sure. That's what it is. If you're like this, oh my god, yeah, guys, let's do this. Oh my god, I love this. Like you're gonna be like, oh my god, this bitch, like she's annoying. This girl's annoying. Like,
I agree.
No, your tone of voice affects so much the way you present yourself. Like that is a huge thing for me. I 100% listen to your tone of voice, and I 100% listen to the way you present yourself. And if just like a good way to be have a good impression. I just glitched. A good way to have a good first impression on someone is being honest. I think that's just
I agree,
bottom line.
You give off energy in your voice
Yeah.
and in the way you carry yourself and everything. Like for example, like Sophia, she didn't know anybody at that party,
and she was
the life of the party. That's literally
being
being the life of the party. Like through the energy of her voice, the way she
and
took initiative of everything.
She like stepped it up for everyone.
She's a natural leader.
Yeah.
I think. Like that was really good. Like that's how I think that's a really good. I didn't even meet her.
We're
just
talking about a party
that.
and about this girl, and I went to that party. And like not a lot of people knew each other in the party, and like we were all in separate groups ish. And then she was just like, guys, let's play a game. Let's come all together, whatever. Guys, come on, whatever. And she was like, oh, let's start, whatever. You go, whatever.
That's
and like,
amazing.
yeah, it is. Like, I think that's the best person, like, in a party or like whatever. Just, obviously, you don't have to be that person, but it's an example of like bringing
what
light
you can sort
or
of
energy.
strive for.
Yeah, you kind of could strive for that, but it's like the best way to be in a social environment. Just lighten up the mood.
So definitely. How you carry yourself, your tone of voice. Yes, your tone of voice. What else?
And yeah, carry yourself, tone of voice, and be honest.
Be honest. Yep.
Welcome to the podcast.
Just being honest. That was our first episode. Thank you guys for listening, and
that's crazy.
Tune into the next one. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Gracias.